They don't
Yeah,
realize the thing called subcultures.
yeah, exactly. Which led right to Psychobilly.
Let's talk about that. So you mentioned you're in New York,
Oh yeah.
CBGB's 16 years old, and then from what I understand, Barnyard was formed in San Diego. How'd you end up with such filth, such foul mouth, such foul mouth ass paddling, lettuce chewing?
Ah, well, yeah, man. I mean, I was trying to make it as a drummer playing original music. I didn't want to be a cover band kind of guy. And my brother and I were just full on dedicated to making our bands happen. And we put in well over a dozen years trying to make it happen. And and original music doesn't pay much as anyone in the scene knows. And
Yeah,
and
yeah.
eventually we gave up on it. And I was like, you know what? I just want to play some music that I dig. And I some that I think is cool. So it's 1995, and I pick up our local magazine, The Reader. It's called, looking in the want ads, which is something I've only done twice ever in my whole as a drummer. And I see this ad. It said drummer wanted double snare. And I'm into electronics and cool sounds. I don't know if you could hear that little.
Yeah, let me hear something. Yeah.
You know,
What is that? Tank, 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 tank.
that's
Oh, I see. Very, yeah. I
that's
saw. Yeah.
multi-pad is what that is.
Okay. Hold on.
Yeah,
Actually, I got a video where you're using that pad. Let me show that for the audience.
cool.
Hold on. We'll
Yeah.
go back to Barnyard right now. So that's the pad right there. You can change
Yeah.
different. You can make different noises on it. I like it.
Oh yeah, man. You can make all kinds of sounds on it, which I'm into making sounds. That was all me, everything that you just heard there. Dude,
Yeah.
you've done your homework to play that kind of stuff, man. That's really cool. So,
Yeah.
I like taking drums out and I love drumming all styles. I like really exploring sounds. I like, to me, like a keyboard, like a person could play piano or play a keyboard and start making cool sounds with a keyboard. So why can't a drummer do that, right? Why not use electronic percussion also, And some people might go, well, that sounds gimmicky and all that, but cool sounds are cool sounds, I don't so like
Yeah, like you
if it
mentioned, pedals.
yeah, exactly. Guitarist uses echo and distortion, so why can't a drummer do, whatever the sound. So I look at this ad and it says drummer wanted double snare. I'm like, double snare, that's like not a common term. So I'm thinking like by this snare, that sound. That's what I'm thinking they're looking for. So I call up and call the ad, and Rob Kuwait, the guitarist, songwriter for Barnyard Ballers, answers, and he said, I want double snare, not like electronic, two sound like two snares in a row. Can you hit two snares in a row? Like, what the fuck? Yeah. He goes, no, fast. I'm like, and he goes, real fast. And that's what he meant, double snare.
Yeah.
To go with the upright bass, right? To go with the slap bass. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of like a country gallop, Western kind of gallop and kind of very Johnny Cash. And he goes, yeah, but we're psychobilly. It's 95. I'm like, what's psychobilly? And he's like, well, it's kind of punk and it's kind of, we're really into roots country and rockabilly, and it's all mixed. So he plays me a demo over the phone, and it's Spike just screaming, just like it sounded like nonsense, it was, and I'm like, I don't care, man. There's something about these guys, and so I went over to go jam with them, and they were just so talented, man. Rob's songwriting was just so amazing, man. He made songs with great choruses. Uh, a lot of the music was a little bit perverse, a little bit, but it all had a funny edge to it.
His
It all
guitar playing was really good. His country had country twang, but like rock, like it was very. I don't, how do I, it's like punk, but country. Very. I can't describe it. Like I can't think of another guitarist who's been able to duplicate that. Can you? I don't know.
you'd have to go back to start listening to roots country. Listen to, like, I don't know, Buck Owens is the first thing that
Yeah.
comes.
Well, when I say duplicate, I mean I don't mean people can't play it, but I'm saying for Psychobilly at least. I can't think of a band that plays the way he plays in Psychobilly.
Oh,
Correct
no.
myself there.
Yeah, and yeah, he's just really, really knows his music and knows the roots of it, where it came from. And I think that's really, really the key to being creative and relevant, is to be super diverse and really know the history of everything. And then you could take it and apply it and see what works, and then make it your own. So
Yeah.
so we
So it's 1995. You answer an ad. Rob answers a phone. And then let's talk about the first time him, and Spike actually got together and played.
yeah. Um it actually really clicked. It really, really clicked. And I was like, I think these guys are like serious trying to like make it as rock stars. But I really wanted to I really, really wanted to have some fun with music. And the thing about what they did, and Psychobilly has two drum grooves. Generally, if you could break it down, you got your upbeat, and then you got your shuffle. Right, boom, ba 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 ba. That bouncing, in the drumming world, that's the shuffle, and then the fast swing.
Yeah, that sounds like Barnyard there.
So
It reminds me of Crazy Bastards.
yeah, Crazy Bastards. That was really, really pedal to the metal fast. I threw a lot of double bass in that. So this is what is so cool about it, and why I loved it so much. I mean, that's rooted in some jazz, man. Right, this, and especially on a floor tom. If you start off on a hi hat, you've got roots rock. You've got Chuck Berry, Little Richard. Bring it to a floor tom. I mean, that's so much of what we play in Psychobilly, and it's all rooted in. So then I'm like, wow. And then they have country, Rob with his country. Then you had train beats. So the drums mixing okay? Can you hear the drums okay?
Yeah, the mix is okay right now. So basically what you're doing is you're breaking down different pieces when it comes to Psychobilly drums. My question is, when did the double snare come in, like you mentioned earlier? It was because you're showing me everything else, but when did was that something in particular Barnyard was asking for?
Yeah, absolutely, because they wanted it to go with the double.
Oh, that's right. You did say that. I don't know why. Well, I'm asking again.
Yeah. So, God, Silicon City had it. It might be a sin. Part of the body, right? If it's underneath the skin.
And here's the part where you're saying, "What do you like? What do you like, Rick?"
I ain't saying it.
I like big titties.
So that's actually the thing, right? Like why I love them so much. They have that song with that title. Well, who can't relate to that? Whether
Silicon
you do
City, yeah.
Actually, it's funny. It's not meant to be misogynistic or anything like that. Or it was just funny is really what it is, and catchy.
Yeah, I remember when I brought up the whole thing of Spike about the Confederate flag and the animal, the logo with the hillbilly banging the goats and sheep. He said that well, we were making fun of rednecks. It's like we're not really rednecks. We're making fun of it. That's what the whole thing is. It's not like you mentioned. It's not serious.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And he
think that's where they were going for. I will say I did not write any lyrics or have anything to do with any of that. Dude, I'm the drummer, and I did a lot of them, a bit of business trying to hold it together a lot.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, you know, and so yeah, that was a problem. I foresaw that. I understood that where they were going with it, and that a lot of rockabilly and psychobilly used that Confederate flag, and I think and Southern rock bands did too. And there was no, Leonard Skinner. There's no racist intention whatsoever. Like that's not. It was just sort of like, hey, we're rooted in country, hillbilly, Southern culture, and we're trying to do something cool with it, and so I'm sorry if it ever offended anyone. And this era now it represents it's a thing. So it's something that we're like, well, we're not really a band anymore. So, but it's not something that we ever would promote. I think every on the whatever social media, which Spike manages that. Um,
Yeah. Well, you had the Confederate flag on your logo, but it wasn't like every single logo. It was just like, a couple of
yeah,
variations of it. The one with the hillbilly skull with the Confederate flags, what you're going for, the fucking the skull, the bull skull. But you had
yeah,
other logos. It wasn't like exclusively Confederate flag, Not that I'm defending it or I'm just simply saying that it wasn't everything about you guys.
yeah. So that's it, man. So it's 1995. I did the "Rock Out with Your Cock Out" album,
Uh,
and
sorry.
oh, here's a story for you. I don't know if you have that. If you could pull up that album cover. It's black and white. Mark Rude, the famous punk rock artist, made that cover. I think I have the guy's name right. You
And
know, he
then
was
you
famous.
I
He
think in
did
the
a lot.
back it was you guys like were grabbing a pig or
The back.
chasing a pig.
We were chasing a pig. We were chasing a pig around. Yeah. Mark Rude, I think was the guy's name. He was a real famous, pretty famous artist for album covers. So, but so Spike, I think it was Spike, not Rob, said, "Yeah, we're going to call the album 'Rock Out with Your Cock Out.'" So I'm telling my late brother Robert, who I played with in, all the years, in Be Wild, our '80s band. And I go, "Man, I'm in this band, Barnyard Ballers. We're going to do an album called 'Rock Out with Your Cock Out.'" And so he grabs a napkin, and we're at a diner, and he drives this bar. He draws out a little farm scene, right? And he draws a rooster, but the rooster's got this little human dick.
What the fuck?
And it's just hidden in there, man. If you could it's just so hidden.
Oh, really? So, Cal, I'll look for it. I'll look for it.
You look at it, it's so subtle. It's so subtle. And and so I took the napkin drawing and I gave it to Spike. And he takes it to this guy, Mark Rude. And Mark did that album cover and that black and white pencil. And then I'm like, I bring it back to my brother, and he's like, "Dude, I was only kidding, man. I did not think you guys would actually do that and put that on an album cover."
I
And
think Jeremy, when she did your episode icon for the Barnyard Ballers episode, she
yeah,
based it off, I think, somewhat to that. You guys were like black and white, I think, and it was kind of that feel from that album. No Cox, though. I don't think she saw it either. So,
yeah, it's so subtle. So
yeah, okay.
yeah,
Oh, okay. What? I think I'd
and
prefer that one to show your parents than the Nudie Bar Blues one.
yeah.
I remember I was in high school when I discovered you guys, and I remember seeing the cover for Nudie Bar Blues. I'm like, holy fuck! I've never seen anything like that.
I'm like,
You're used to Psychobilly. I'm used to like zombies and spooky things. But all of a sudden, here comes Barnyard Ballers, just ass cheeks and
yeah, dude. You know what? I had nothing to do with that one either. You
you're
know
behind
what?
all of this. You're behind all of this, Rick. Just come clean.
It's all him. Yeah. No, man,
Oh yeah.
dude. I've been a professional drum teacher. I have endorsements with major companies. I have played on all kinds of music, and and how I landed into that, is just really, really funny because I'm like, man, there's a lot of stuff like I can't really play because lyric that and that was in an era before. Now anything will offend people, and I respect that too. That's fine. But everything we ever did was supposed to be funny, you know.
I have a clip of you doing "Happy Ignorant People." Would you like me to play it?
Sure, that'd be
All
fun.
right.
That's
That
fun,
is
man.
an amazing song.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man. We
Was there any anything perverted in that one? I don't remember.
no. In fact, that one was where I'm like, Rob, can you write something that I could actually play for my family? You know, that's not like you know poking on hillbilly culture, and so he came up with that, and
Yeah.
and that one was really fun. That's got the ska bridge, because
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too because you're talking about some of the psychobilly shit, the ska part in that one.
yeah, it was just about ready to come up where it go.
He does a huh.
So it's back and forth between that boom tap and that go, and so that's why I'm just so grateful to have found psychobilly and to found Spike and Rob, because I could really be creative as a drummer, and that's why
Yeah.
I love psychobilly, and that's why, like, man, if you're a psychobilly drummer, man, it's not an easy thing to do,
Especially if you're
because
standing.
yeah, which I've done a lot of that. I did a lot of that with Bambula.